Hey everyone, it's Maximilian, and apparently my smile is as radiant as 1,000 suns, or so I've been told, which is amazing to me that you guys all knew about that because I haven't even shown you my pretty face yet. I haven't done any kind of reveal video or anything, but you guys still know how amazing my smile is, which is amazing. I am just overwhelmed at your great perception on all of you. Yeah, thank you for your comments and for spamming my email inbox with hundreds upon hundreds of messages. That was very surprising to look at, I must say. It caught me off guard, but it was nonetheless enjoyable. And for all of you who came on over to tell me how amazing my smile looked, thank you for also subscribing to me if you did that, because that grows my channel, that grows my user base, and it makes this all the more enjoyable knowing that I have that many more people who are going to be watching these videos and enjoying them as much as I do. Now, about the video, I'm very sorry that it's skipping again. I actually did that on purpose. I sped this up way too much because I tried to cram a little bit too much into 15 minutes. I decided that it would be an amazing idea to just blow through the Pokemon Tower in one episode, and in retrospect it was a bad idea. So, I promise it's not going to happen again. I'm going to split it up next time if I have to. I just got really ambitious here and I ended up biting off more than I could chew. So, my apologies. It gets better at times, but it's still pretty bad. Anywho, this is the 4th time we are fighting Gary, I believe, and he still sucks as per usual. And actually, from this point on in the game, he's just terribly easy. He's a pushover. I'm not sure if I was supposed to fight him like right when I first got into Lavender Town from Rock Tunnel. Maybe that would have made it a bit more interesting, but I just saved him till now because I really didn't have any interest in going into the Pokemon Tower until I had a Self-Scope. So, here we are, in the Pokemon Tower, and we are going to make our way through the whole thing. Now, strangely enough, I knew that I was going to be catching some Pokemon in here, probably. If I found a Haunter, I told myself I was going to get it. The weird thing was, first thing I ran into was a Cubone, and from my previous experience anyway, they've been particularly difficult to find in this tower. So I figured I might as well go after it and grab it. At least it helps me out with my my catch-em-all. I'm just probably going to keep doing that as I go along. If I find something that looks particularly unusual or hard to find, I'll just snag it. No reason not to, right? So I caught the Cubone. Then the very next Pokemon I find is none other than a Haunter, which was amazing because I remember playing in previous playthroughs and I would just have horrible luck with this one. I could not find a Haunter to save my life. So yeah, the game is being kind to me, I suppose. Who'd have thunk? If you do get any background noise, I'm sorry. I'm trying to record this in the middle of the night. And there's people roaming around the house, as per usual. Even though it's a school night.
What?
Always people up. Yeah, like my ROTC roommate, who's about to, I don't know, from the looks of it, bomb something, or at least from what that sounded like. You really should be more quiet, though, because some of our roommates are trying to sleep, John.
One of them. Just one of them.
Just one of them, but still,
Soon
it's more than 0. So yes, I have obnoxious roommates this time of night. Namely Beck.
Always.
Always. Beck is always obnoxious, but that's great. I love that about him.
I love your obnoxiousness.
Yeah. This game is not nearly as obnoxious as Beck is,
That's
though.
where I put my top
Except maybe for these channelers. These channelers, for some reason, I don't know why, but whenever I read that text, because you can't really hear them talking, you kind of have to guess what they're doing, it always sounds like they're throwing up. It's like they just got Ipecac or something, and they just really need to huck something up. It's weird. Now, some of them do sound like they're just straight possessed, but for the most part, the ones that just make random noises sound like they want to barf. I don't know if any of you thought that, but I think it's a little creepy. Especially for, like, little kids, because this game is basically targeted at children, right? So, like, some of the things these channelers are saying is kind of creepy. I don't know if that's necessarily age-appropriate or if the Japanese are just really, really big into this. Who knows? Whatever. I didn't mind it much as a kid. I mean, I just didn't even think about it because I was having way too much fun playing the game. So yeah, that was my little experience with that. Pikachu. Pikachu may be exiting our team very shortly, or at least when I can find another electric Pokemon, because without having any electric move other than Thundershock, it's very weak, and I don't want to use Thunderbolt on it right now because Thunderbolt is such an amazing TM. Like, it's probably only behind Hyper Beam and Ice Beam as the best TMs in the game. So I'm definitely hanging on to it and duplicating it when I get the chance. So I really don't want to waste it. But at the same time, I mean, Pikachu is just not good enough right now. I can't stand it. Like, I want him to be better, but I just can't do it until I can duplicate the TM and teach it to Pikachu. Man. Rough. It's quite a paradox. But I think we will be able to make it. Hey, there's my Wild Haunter. That is really cool looking. I know Mercadurka told me that like Haunter looks way more awesome than Gengar does, but you don't actually realize how awesome he looks until you first encounter him in this game. Like, considering most of the Pokemon in this game look like they're contorted or weird or whatever, like, that one looks really good. I love the way Haunter looks in this game. I love the way he looks in Yellow version even more, though. Like, they really, really amped him up. Haunter's just awesome, so we caught him. And he's doing pretty well in the Pokemon Elite Four poll, too, so I figured I might as well grab him just in case. Speaking of the poll, thank you so much for voting on the previous episode and posting your comment. That's really changed things a lot, actually. It's kind of caused a little bit of separation, but there's still this huge chunk of people that are still definitely in contention. We still have 4 gyms to go, though, so don't worry. If you have a favorite that you're lobbying for and it's not quite up there, there's still time. And the one comment I'm going to make about the current standings is that Dragonite is still dominating everyone. It is not even close. So, as soon as I can duplicate my nuggets, I'm going to sell my nuggets, I'm going to take my money, and I'm going to buy me a Dratini with some coins. Because we got to get started on this Dragonite thing ASAP. Because if you've ever tried raising a Dratini, it is hard. Like, it takes level grinding to the next level, no pun intended. But I really got to get on that now. Plus, Dragon Pokemon are the most fun Pokemon to use in this game. Well, maybe not the most fun. I'd say Mew's the most fun, just because you're not technically supposed to have them, and I think that's kind of, edging on the side of danger. Whatever. I don't know. It just makes it more intense, I guess. But Dragon Pokemon are so much fun, especially because you can have such a wide variety of TMs that you can teach them, because they can pretty much learn everything. And if you've ever played Yellow version, Lance's Dragonite actually knows Fire Blast, Thunder, and Blizzard. So they went all out with that dragon. Now, I don't like using those super big 5P moves necessarily because they don't hit quite as reliably. But you can teach them things like Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, which will hit much more frequently and still do a very considerable amount of damage, especially considering that Dragon Pokemon have a very high special attack. So, I'm going to, if I do get my Dragonite, I'm going to teach him some TMs, and I may just happen to have, like, another poll for that, like, what TMs do you want me to teach Dragonite, because he literally can learn anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Maybe not Psychic, but pretty much everything else. And also, we should probably ask, what TMs do you want me to teach Mew? If I do teach Mew any TMs, it'll probably be the level 100 one. That's going to be our little TM machine, because it doesn't know anything right now, and it needs some moves. It's a level 100 Jigglypuff that knows Pound, so we gotta fix that boy up. We gotta hook him up with some street cred and get him some real moves. Yeah, I think I just made a dancing reference and connected it with Pokemon. Gosh, it is late at night. And there's another friend of mine who was in the house playing my commentaries while I'm recording a commentary. Man, this is weird.
I'm just looking at your channel.
Yeah.
And subscribing!
Well, thank you for subscribing, sir.
You're welcome.
Take that as a free advertisement.
Okay.
You all, I assume if you're watching this video, are probably subscribed anyway, so, I don't know, make another account and subscribe again.
Tell them to subscribe to me.
Yeah. What's your channel name, by the way?
The Stonage.
The Stonage. Yeah. So, if you guys haven't met this friend of mine, his name is Stonewall Tyler, but we call him Stony because he looks like a pothead.
You look like a pothead.
Yeah, well, you do some of the time. You look like a pothead when you wake up.
That is very true.
But yeah, he's awesome, and he makes little drama skip videos on YouTube. He's a really funny guy. So I'll post a link in the description to his channel if you guys want to head on over there and sub him up, because this guy's just getting started. He wants to take off the ground with a little bit of a following, so that'd be cool. I don't think he has too many videos made right now, but he's working on getting some laid out, actually with a bunch of guys in the house too, so you may actually get to meet some of the people I'm living with, which would be kind of cool. At least you get to know my real life experience a little more.
I have 10 videos.
10. That's not bad. That's really not bad. So yeah, go over there and sub him up. He's a nice guy. Wow. Give me blood. Jeez. That girl is such a vampire. Not. Speaking of vampires, if you guys have never seen Alex Reed's Twilight, you should probably go search that on YouTube and look at it, because it's so funny. I know for a fact that Twilight is a bad book, and I've never read it, because my AP Lit teacher read it my senior year in high school, and she basically described it. Now keep in mind, this is a woman talking. This is a woman talking about Twilight. She says it is the most terrible piece of garbage she has ever read. The storyline is terrible. The love is cheesy. The romance is so preteen it's not even funny, and the writing is absolutely terrible. Believe it or not, and Alex actually documents some of this, it's very funny, Stephanie Meyer could not write a coherent sentence if her life depended on it. Her grammar is absolutely terrible, and the most ironic thing about it is she has graduated with a degree in English literature. Like, really? I can't believe that.
I can attest to the atrocity that is Twilight. I read the first two, and had no desire to read the third and fourth one.
Well, what made you pick up the second book?
Because I thought maybe it could be better than the first one. Maybe.
That's the trap you fall into with preteen literature kids.
Yeah.
Although I think Harry Potter might fall into that category, but Harry Potter's just way too much fun, and it doesn't involve crappy romance stories about a vampire who constantly tells a girl to avoid her and keeps hitting on her all the time.
Well, the problem is, Edward is not exactly a terrible character. Just simply because he's a vampire, he can't help being attracted to her in the way that he wants to eat her. But
Bella's dumb.
Bella is insane because she is in love with a creature that constantly wants to suck her blood out.
Basically,
that's just insanity.
Basically, Bella is a dumb woman, and that's why the story's bad. Yeah, it basically all hinges around Bella. You'll figure that out if you do watch Alex Reed's Twilight, because he basically reads parts and sketches of the book. You will actually get a fair gist of the plot and how bad it is, and it really does all revolve around Bella sucking as a protagonist. But that's, I guess, Stephanie Meyer's fault. Whatever.
But she's pretty much just trying to make somebody that a bunch of losers can like too.
However, the moral of the story is the book still sucks. And there's absolutely no denying that.
But you do have to give it to her. She's made a lot of money. So she did something right.
Anybody can make money by doing something that just finds a wide audience. Like, take for example Hannah Montana. Definitely not good music. However, when you play to the likes of girls ages 9 to 12 who get all their money from their parents, who actually do have money, you have an instant cash cow. Case in point, always market to preteen girls or children whose parents have money, and you will always make money. Speaking of which, Pokemon. Except this was actually a good case. This was actually something that was worth making money.
The games, at least.
Yeah.
I never got into the card game.
Yeah.
But I was into the TV show as a kid. And I went back and watched a show, one of the first ones, I think, recently, and I did not realize how terrible they were.
Yeah.
The shows were awful.
The games were pure, but then once you stem from the game and then make other things out of it, well, you're just, it's a recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster.
Pokemon Stadium was
So the moral of the story is, if you're ever going to start a successful franchise, keep it pure and keep it simple. Halo Wars. And don't resort to money, because once you start making your primary goal making money, then everything just takes a downward spiral and your quality suffers a humongous loss. But you probably already knew that. You're all business majors, right? I'm not a business major. But whatever, it's simple economics, it's common sense. So we finally found the old guy, yay! And what does he give us? He gives us a Pokeflute. We never have to buy Awakening again. Alright, this Pokemon commentary is done, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later when we go somewhere else.